Well, hello again, Bruce McGrail here, and I thought I'd like to spend just a few moments giving you some thoughts behind the soundscapes, the philosophy of them, and where we think we are heading with them. Last century, which I remember well because most of my life was lived there, but last century, 1994, I set about a little recording project taking advantage of the fact that a wonderful English drummer by the name of Martin Neal was in New Zealand, and he was here to tour with Kevin Prosh, American worship leader, and Martin agreed to stay on and give me a few days in the studio. So we recorded a little collection of songs called Rend the Heavens. Originally my sort of playful title for it was going to be Fish, Chips and Batter Bits. The batter bits being some of the scattered old songs that I had. Martin immediately came back with his take on it, which would be Fish, Chips and Mine's a Pint, which I found an interesting and amusing title. And then my wife said, "No, look, Bruce, don't do all your old songs," because there were quite a number of songs that had been around a long time that I had written. And she said, "No, don't put those," even though they hadn't been recorded. She said, "No, write some new stuff." So I did, and about half of the Rend the Heavens collection were new songs. Some of the old ones, I'll say it now, some of the old ones will still find their way onto the YouTube channel in time to come. So we recorded these songs with a range of soloists, including my daughter Ginny. And I still remember her standing on a chair to record her song, "I Want to Be a Worshipper," so that she could see through to the control room and the engineer there, and he could see out to her from where he was sitting down. It was a great joy to have her there, and she wasn't difficult to record. A number of other soloist friends came in and helped me, so that was nice. The idea then, after recording Rend the Heavens, was that we began to record 4 more tracks. I was on keyboards, Martin was on the drums, and the thought I had in mind was that I would start with a song, and we'd have the whole song, and then just go spontaneous from there and sort of see what happened. And so that was what we recorded. One was recorded around Come and Worship, another was recorded around the place of prayer, another was recorded all around the throne was one. Most of these are all on the Rend the Heavens anyway, so if you're not sure what songs I'm talking about, they're on the Rend the Heavens. So anyway, we started recording those. So the idea was to just provide people with an extended opportunity just to have their own private little worship time sort of run on a little bit in their own way. I don't honestly know how I was intending to finish that, because I would never have been able to afford studio time to finish it the way we were going to. But we recorded these 4 pieces, and so that was early on in 1994, the 1st of January probably. And then bam, or shall I say, it was sort of like a clattering of bams for over several months for that year. And if you know what it's like to be in an echoey room where a drummer carries his cymbals and then drops the lot, that was sort of what the next few months felt like. I had just finished conducting a probably 5-hour session with a worship team at a church in another city that I was due to minister in the church the next day. And then I got home after that, having had to ask if somebody could help me load all my gear back into my car, because I just didn't feel the strength to do it. And then I got home, and the minister said, "Well, no, Bruce, let's just get organised. What are we going to sing tomorrow?" And I said, "Well, to be honest, I can't concentrate. I just can't concentrate on anything. I've just got such a strong chest pain here." And my wife, who was a nurse, her ears pricked up, and his wife, who was a nurse, her ears pricked up, and she said, "We're going to get you to A&E right now." And so there and then they bundled me into the car, had an ECG. The guy took a quick look at it and said, "We're putting you in." So that meant the minister had lost his had lost his speaker for the morning service. I don't know how it happened, but Christine stood in and she preached the morning service in this church instead of me, and came and visited me in the hospital, so I was transferred. So anyway, it was a clattering of BAMs. That what followed on from that was some other heart procedures, and then other issues that sort of came, and it was quite a year. What that meant is that everything about this unfinished project with Martin just sort of sat there, not gaining any attention. And then at some point, when I had my little Korg recorder, I went to the studio and transferred onto my Korg, so that at least I had it from the 1-inch master tapes that we had there, what we'd recorded, and it just sat there until 2020. And so we found ourselves with the lockdown. In the meantime, of course, I'd found myself conducting weddings and funerals for 26 years, thousands of them. And then lockdown came, and different stage of life for me, getting ready to sort of retire from all of that funeral work, and started having hooked up with Duncan to begin the channel. I saw this was a chance for me to do these. Now, in the meantime, of course, YouTube had come along. Big churches were putting up all sorts of wonderful worship segments there, just endless, no shortage of wonderful worship things for people to look at. And people were starting now to do what they call soaking music, where you could have hours of just background music. And my daughter Jenny and my wife said, "Bruce, why don't you just do some piano soaking music?" So that might come, but in the meantime, I just wanted to finish these works. Was it when Jesus said, "I've finished the work that you've given me to do"? There's something about finishing work that you set out to do. And so I couldn't get with Duncan during the lockdown, so I set about trying to do these soundscapes. Changed a little bit in terms of the direction of them, insofar as I didn't want to actually record a whole song on it, but just reference the song rather than actually have the whole song dictate the direction of it. So, and the other thing was, of course, we've now got YouTube and video, and Duncan Wisdom said to me that people will make more use of something if there's a video there. So my thinking was, all right, okay, we want videos, but I don't want the videos to distract. Whereas a full song would distract, also the video, unless it's kind of pitched right, would distract too. So the first one that I completed in lockdown was the one that we called Soak. So they've all got one name titles beginning with S. So Soak. So I said, what about just an open fire? Because I don't know about you, but I'm not good at praying with my eyes shut for long stretches. I need to open them. So what we wanted was if these soundscapes were being played, people opened their eyes, there was something to look at, but not a story kind of thing happening that was going to distract them. So the first one, Soak, was an open fire, and I felt happy with how that went. The second, it doesn't matter what order we did them in. But I remember once flying from Los Angeles to the UK, and after a few hours of sleep on the plane, I opened a little slide thing there and looked outside, and was absolutely mesmerised by the sight of flying over Greenland, the sheer cliffs of ice and snow, just spellbinding stuff. And I thought, that's the sort of thing I want, something that's good to look at but doesn't pull you anywhere into a story. So one of them, what's the one that's got the green? Surely was an extra that we put in there, and then was Stride, which was sort of the one that I envisaged people maybe who want to walk around and pray out loud and kind of get a little bit fervent in their prayer, with stride. Stride was always going to be to the song, He Shall Prevail, He Shall Prevail. But as I said, not the whole song, just referencing it. And so a murmuration of starlings, I find that they're fascinating what those birds can do. And so that was the style of thing that we wanted to have there for the videos. One of the songs, Settle, I said to Duncan, why don't you make something of this? He's a very, very capable musician, and he was locked down. He was able to do his stuff while he was locked down as well. And so he turned he took Create in Me a Clean Heart, O God, and made a wonderful 20-minute version of a sort of a soundscape that is built around that song, the natural landscape kind of thing. And then he surprised me by having some friends from Perth in Western Australia add some vocals to them. Kim and Nicole, they used to live in Auckland here, brother and sister. Nicole actually sang on the second album, He Knows the Way. And so he surprised me by having their voices recorded just into an iPhone, sent to him, and he's incorporated that. So that's Duncan's own creation, is called Settle. Script is the one that's built around the song, all around the throne, blessing and honour, glory and power be it to him. I didn't have the whole song on that, of course, because I didn't want to, but the whole song, which has a whole verse episode all around the throne, the people stand. I didn't include that. That's the strength of the song, actually. You might want to listen to that on the Rend the Heavens collection. But I mean, how do you have anything visual that just kind of fits with the absolute wonder of the beasts and elders and everyone, redeemed people, all singing, blessing, honour, glory and power be to him who sits on the throne. So we've gone for Northern Lights. They're just about as more amazing probably than the murmuration of starlings. So the feel is, what we've been after in those is for you to be able to just, whether you are reading the Bible, whether you are praying, whether you're having your little Lectio Divina moments of reading and meditation and rereading and rereading and rereading, and you just want to open your eyes, there's something there that helps you. But in the meantime, you've got a soundtrack of 15-16 minutes, Settle's 20. And just to help you. It's purely and simply designed to help you. Now I know, as I said, there's lots of soaking music on the YouTube now, and some wonderful long episodes of worship. But I did have someone say to me, who has looked at all the 5 of them now, that it's different from anything else on YouTube. So these soundscapes are different from anything else on YouTube. And the other comment that she made is that they're just the right length. So I hope you enjoy the soundscapes now. I think I've pretty well covered everything that I wanted to say about them. And perhaps if you just understand the philosophy of it now, I still like to put soak probably. If I'm just going to be sitting reading the Bible with just a little bit of something nice around me, I'll still put on soak, or I'll still put on script, or one of the others, just to help me. So I hope that you find them to be a blessing for you too.